All right, well, it is the 16th. It's a Monday of February. Went to the office this morning and talked to Matt a bit about some things, and then came home and haven't eaten anything, so I probably need to eat. And I started kind of working on my plastics a little bit. So first off, I got this board hung up, moved that one down. Got to figure out what to do with this one. Gotta hang it somewhere. But yeah, I've just been messing with plastics, and this is kind of what we got. So I got the shrouds on, fenders on, number plates on. That fender got a little bit warped while it was in storage, so I'm trying to put some weight on it to make it flatten out a little bit. It's not too bad, but it's enough to annoy me. So I still got the number plate to do, but I got a new one. I don't want to really put something on my factory one, the original one, in case I want to go back to it. And I got some fork covers because apparently I can't find my other ones. So coming, so I'll put those decals on. But this is going to be my springtime setup. I like to change it up a little bit, so I'm going to continue to run the blue until winter's over. Spring, we're well into spring, and then I'm gonna pop these bad boys on. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing today. Got that did, and then I kind of cleaned up my mess that was out here because it was like taking over everything. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Not sure if I'm gonna, I guess I should go see Dad at some point, so I may go ahead and go do that, and then we'll see what we go into tonight. All right, well, it's about 4:33. I've got to make a call to the insurance people about some work stuff. But before I do, I figured I would, since it's another kind of a lazy day, I wanted to kind of go over some of my records. Now, I don't mean medical records or driving records. I mean literal records. Okay, so I figured I would go through and kind of talk about why I have certain records. Now, these are records that I've bought or have been gifted, like on purpose, because a lot of these records, I'm not sure where they came from. I just kind of acquired them, and it's not a lot of stuff. I mean, it's stuff I would probably listen to, but maybe nothing I would buy. The two exceptions, which I'll go here first, is Pablo Cruise, Part of the Game. Now, this is not great by any means, but when I was taking drum lessons, this is one of the records, like along with the Doobie Brothers and some other things, that I had to play all the time. So I bought it just as a spoof because I thought the cover is absolutely like insane, ridiculous. But it's not great music, but you know, it's easy to play on the drums, so that's what I started with. All right. Crimes of Passion, Pat Benatar. This record, I bought it at a thrift store, mainly because this was what I listened to growing up. Me and my cousin would listen to this, and she had a song called Hell is for Children. I understand the concept as an adult now, but as a kid, I thought it just meant she didn't like children. So we would always sing Hell is for Pat Benatar. So I thought I should have this record because, you know, it's a decent record. It's a lot of hits on it, but that was the one song that, like, we would sing all the time. All right, so that kind of covers this. And I've got some stuff like the Swans and some things over here that I do listen to, but I really don't know where I got it from. So I'm just going to pull these out one by one. Not in any order at all. Sade, Soldier of Love. Not a whole lot of attachment to this record, but I do love that song. I think it's really, really good. So I bought the record because it's Sade. Why can you not love it? This was a record I showed you that I got from my friend Jason. Don't really know anything about it. pretty sure I listened to it at some point, not the record, but like some of the songs. So he wanted me to have it, so I have it, and I'm going to play it. I also showed this one the other day, Art of Noise. Fun fact about this record, it is called Close to the Edit. It's one of the first videos I saw on MTV, and it was terrifying. So it always stuck with me. Okay, now, another Sade record, Love Deluxe. This record is absolutely phenomenal, and I listen to it, or at least I listen to the cassette all the time. It's just, I don't know, it's just great. It's a great record. Anybody that knows me knows how important this record is. This was the record that started off my musical career pretty much for how I write. So very important record for me. Speaking of important records, bam, Cult Electric. I skated more to this record than any other record. I knew it backwards and forwards. Didn't have it on, I had on cassette. Most of these I had on cassette. So this is, I'm kind of, the cassettes that were a huge influence on me or I listen to a lot is what I'm buying. That's kind of what spawns all this stuff. Jeff Buckley, Grace, just a good album. I listened to it kind of early in my little, like when I started singing and just after college, and I don't know, it's just it's one of those records that make you realize you probably shouldn't sing or be a musician. They Can Dance Tour with the Within. Listen to this record a lot. I had the DVD. I watched that, or the VHS tape. I watched that I don't know how many times. It is just one of my favorite records, for sure. Speaking of, Sinead O'Connor, The Lion and the Cobra. I first heard Sinead O'Connor. We lived out in Norwood, did not have cable proper, so we had a satellite dish. And there was a Canadian MTV, if you will. I think it was called Much Music or something. Because I wanted to watch MTV when I was a kid, and I couldn't because we didn't have cable. Got the satellite. And that was where I got to watch music videos. Because we watched Friday night videos, of course. And they played quite a few songs from this record. And I just was floored by it. And I was probably the reason that a lot of my high school friends got into Sinead, because I found out about it very, very early, before MTV was playing it, and it's just super strong. Bluebell Knoll. This record, oh man, it got me through some dark times. I listened to it frontwards and backwards. Most people like their second one or third one. This is the one I like. And in fact, somehow, subconsciously stole a lick off the opening track, which I can't remember what it's called, because I know songs, not track names. But if you listen to the opening track, there's a little lick at the end, like a little melody, and it somehow made it into one of my songs, even though I hadn't listened to that record in a long, long time. And I think it was pre-Voodoo, probably a band called Sin Submission. I'm not sure what the band was called, but I played it. Michelle heard it. I was just like riffing on it, and then she liked it, and she started playing it in like on the synthesizer, and then I reheard what she was doing because I forgot I'd played it, and I recorded it in one of the first Voodoo songs, A Stick of Steve's, and that was my guitar solo, the melody. And I told her, I was like, that guitar solo melody is from what you played on the synthesizer, on the Korg. And she kind of laughed and was like, well, that's what you played, and that's where I got that from. And I was like, oh. And then I bought the CD for Bluebell Knoll, and I heard where I got it from. So, indirect, but I got it. from them. Lenny Kravitz, Let Love Rule. That's his, another one of those, this is early college stuff, like probably my sophomore year, the summer before my sophomore year at college. Listened to this record a lot. In fact, this record here is the reason I pierced my nose in the first place. I remember looking at the tape. I think it was tape. I remember the CD. I don't remember. And I pierced my nose. I pierced the right side, like in my dorm room one night, just because I was like, he's cool. He's got his nose pierced. I'm going to pierce my nose. Then I realized that I was looking at the album. It's actually his left side that was pierced. So I pierced my right side. So that is the reason I got my nose pierced for the first time. Well, I pierced my nose for the first time. And consequently met one of my first college girlfriends because she saw my nose ring and wanted me to pierce her nose. So this record was, I listened to it a lot. It's really, really good. His other stuff's good too, but this was, again, my entry drug into him. All right. I got Death Cult. I love attachment to this. I found Death Cult later, Southern Death Cult later, because I was a huge Cult fan. But, I had to get this because it was one of those like Black Friday sales. So I decided I'd get it. This record changed my life as a drummer. I listened to it over and over again. I looked at the cover over and over again. I think my brother painted on it, my original copy, because I had it on vinyl. And as a jerk, I messed up his Village People record, and then I got in trouble, and Dad was like, they've got stuff on their face anyway, so he didn't really hurt nothing. Little did Dad know that the original Kiss record, this record, is worth a whole lot more than that Village People record. So I ain't saying I would have kept it, but, this, I don't know, this was like, as far as studio records go, this was probably one of my favorite. This and maybe Dynasty were my two favorite Kiss records, like in the studio. I was a little late to the party. My cousin in Wilmington played it for me. I think he was playing Hotter Than Hell or maybe Dressed to Kill. I'm not sure which one it was. But I liked, this was kind of my record. Like the earlier stuff was stuff he liked, but this one was the first one that I had that I liked. So I thought that was pretty cool. Bela Lugosi's Dead, the single session thing. I'm not sure what it is. I had this on Casingle, had Boys on one side, Bela Lugosi's Dead on the other. Listened to it a lot, even though it was 2 songs, maybe 3 songs. I can't remember if it was a third one or not, but I wore this little Casingle tape out. So of course I had to have it on vinyl. Jane's Addiction, nothing shocking. Well, what more can I say about Jane's Addiction, except that I absolutely adore Jane's Addiction. I always have. I was also one of the cooler kids that got to kind of expose Jane's Addiction to my friends. I got to see them on this tour at the Pterodactyl in Charlotte. I was in high school. My friend Sally was turning 18 in like 2 days. We were totally worried that she was not going to be able to get let in because she was my age, roughly, because I was born in September. She was born in November. So this had to be around October. But she was a year behind because her birthday was late, etc. But they let her in after we got lost going to Charlotte. And we watched the show, and then I got a shirt, and I wore the shirt the next day, and I caused all kinds of controversy because it was, it was really cool to go to a show and wear the concert shirt the next day to make all your students jealous. They didn't get to go, and, so I did that, and it was school picture day. So, yeah, they put me in the back for like the art club and band pictures and stuff like that for the annual. So, but you can still see at least this part of my shirt. It was that on the front and the back. It just said nothing shocking. I was really disappointed to have the tour dates on the shirt, but it didn't. Chameleons UK. One of my first bandmates knew what I liked and was like, "You heard the Chameleons?" I was like, "No." And then I just fell in love with this record. Again, most people like their second record better. I like this record better. But he gave me this as a gift one time, and you can look right there, record exchange, $5. So it was probably in the early '90s when I got this. Thrill Kill Cult. See Good Spirits, see Bad Spirits, just because we toured Thrill Kill Cult. I mean, that's this Ugly Spirits tour was a tour I did, even though it wasn't really this record per se, but I guess it was kind of a throwback to it. I'm not really sure, but either way, I had to get it because they just skyrocketed my musical career by doing that tour, and consequently, it's where I met Corinne, my current wife. So, had I not been on this tour, had I not done well on this tour, we'd have never met. So, kind of a big deal. That's why I got that record. The Cure, Kiss Me. This is the demos. I've never heard it. Kiss Me's which I can go ahead and bring this out here because this is the next one up anyway. This is my Cure record. I know what everybody thinks and what everybody likes, and that's fine. You can like it. This is the one I like. The Kiss first song was like, I don't know, just this was my kind of my gateway. I didn't like Boys Don't Cry at first. I thought it was, kind of couldn't skate to it. But this was different. Disintegration's good, of course, but this was my first one. This was what I listened to. It was a double play cassette, which is even greater. And I listened to this record a ton of times. So that's why I got the demos, to see how different the demos were. But yeah, that record, I can't express enough. Speaking of which, Love and Rockets, Earth, Sun, Moon. Another on my must play record list. I'm more of a Love and Rockets guy than I am Bauhaus. Bauhaus was on the way out about the time I got into them. Love and Rockets came out. Actually, I think they're already out. And, no new telltales on this. This was kind of my first gateway into Love and Rockets. I went and got their past catalog, and I really liked it. But this was kind of this is my Kiss Me. I like a lot of Cure records, but Kiss Me was kind of the root. Love and Rockets, Earth, Sun, Moon was the root. And speaking of roots, Cult Love, my root album. I like Electric, I like Dreamtime, I like Sonic Temple's okay, but this was it for me. I remember I found out about them. It was ninth grade, high school, and I was a super skater. I mean, I watched skate videos all the time, and of course my favorite skater being Tony Hawk, Kevin Staub. They were skating to a Cult song at, I think it was Trashmore, if I'm not mistaken, in Virginia Beach. We had this, she kind of called herself a skate Betty. She was from Ohio. She looked a little weird, wore vertebrae earrings, had red hair, kind of cut like a skater cut. Didn't skate though, but she knew who the skaters were, which I thought instantly that means you're cool. She had a very deep knowledge of music because she came from a place that wasn't Albemarle. She came from somewhere in Ohio, I think. And so she introduced me to bands like 45 Grave, The Cult, Skinny Puppy, things like that. And so I went to her and I was like, hey, because I had this record. And I was like, and I heard another song. It was Dreamtime was what I heard them skate to. And so she had to give me a mixtape of it. But yeah, this was my core. I don't really know. I guess it was skate videos how I first heard about this. I really don't know. We're about done with this. Nine Inch Nails Downward Spiral. I mean, how can you not have this record? I mean, this is kind of quintessential to Nine Inch Nails. Yes, I like other stuff, but Pretty Hate Machine was actually more my entry, but I will take this because this is when he really started getting good. Corinne's brother gave me this, so it's a nice counterpart with it. So I still have that. Love it. Love March of the Pigs. Purple Rain. It's all hinkified. I got this at Cracker Barrel. It was a picture disc, obviously. Before I even had a record player, that's like one of my first ones I bought. And I was like, I'm just going to get it. So I've already listened to this one several times. I can't stress enough how much Prince and this album means to me. As far from the movie standpoint, from the record standpoint, it really doesn't matter. It's all the same. And lastly, we got Bones Brigade Video Tunes. Now what this is a record of a lot of the different songs from the different skate videos, the Powell skate videos. We would sit there with the VCR and record with a cassette player the songs they skated to. Because again, if you're watching videos, you think, oh, well, for me to do that trick, I've got to be able to, I need to skate to that. But it's the first three videos. Bones Brigade Video Show, Future Primitive, and Animal Chin. So it's got some songs from that. It doesn't have stuff from the newer ones, but it's got a lot of really good stuff. So yeah, so that's my record collection. Like I said, I've got other ones here, just pulling out random stuff. Got the Kinks. I'll pull out another random here. Let's see, just Lou, Deck and Dance. But again, somebody gave me these, and I don't remember how I acquired them exactly, but it was like in a box of stuff. And I've got a ton of DJ stuff, like DJ Dan and just Rabbit the Moon and things like that. I've got a whole nother box with just records. They don't really have sleeves, but yeah, it's just random stuff like this. So maybe one day we'll go through that, but these are the primaries for me right now. I kind of thought I had Disintegration, but I guess I don't. So maybe that needs to be a thing. I'm sure I don't, actually. Yeah. Oh, I do have this. This is kind of cool. I'll show you this one. This is a compilation from the Scream, the club in LA. And it's got all these different, of course, there you go. And that was pre-Warner Brothers stuff. Don't know much of the stuff on there. Community FK, TSOL, and Jane's Addiction is really all I know. But I don't know how old this is, but anyway, it's pretty cool. Oh, and look, yet another Deck and Dance record. So I've got quite a few Deck and Dance records, and they're good, but Toward the Within is probably my one. So anyway, this has been 20 minutes of Chad's record collection. So, not sure what the day holds. I've got, like I said, I got to make a phone call to the insurance people, and I don't know. But thanks for seeing my arts and crafts and my records. As I make more adjustments and get more records, I'm sure I will continue this on. I'm trying to think of some of the ones I want to get. I think The Church Under the Milky Way is one I'd like to get. And then Disintegration, of course. And maybe Pretty Hate Machine, because those were kind of core. And then I'll start worried about records that I just enjoy, And then, but I wanted to get my core first. Just because it takes a long time to listen to all this many records. So I'm going to enjoy this first and then go. And I thought I had, how do I not have, I'm going to pause it for a sec. I got to hunt something. Just really confused because I felt for certain that I had bought Angel Dust, Faith No More, and California by Mr. Bungle. But apparently I have not. Huh. Interesting. Well, anywho, I'm going to have to investigate that because I swear I got that stuff. But, this bad boy around. All right, so there's that's my record collection. Apparently it's less than I thought I had. So anyway, man, that's gonna bother me. I'll have to find that out. But that's our day today. And tomorrow we might actually get out and get to do some stuff because it's supposed to be warmer. It's pretty warm today. It's like 60 something, but it's just soupy because it's just super wet and gross. So we're gonna go make a phone call and we'll maybe do some fun stuff tomorrow. Bye.